single time I touch the drums or I touch a pair of drumsticks, it's life. I would see Buddy Rich back in the day, and I'd be like, man, he's so youthful when he touches the drums. I go to a show, I watch Billy Cobham, and I
That's
see Billy
crazy.
Cobham just turn into a kid. Dennis be like, like, oh, I got to get on this stage, and you get on stage, and then once he got the drumsticks in,
Yeah, and let's not forget Billy Cobham is in his 80s. Billy Cobham is older than Steve Gadd. So, put that in perspective. And one thing that you just said that makes a lot of sense is you still have that passion and that feeling, man. And that's something that as you get older sometimes can go away because of all these other distractions. But the great ones always keep that passion. When you get around drums or sit behind drums, something just activates. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that's intangible, but it is very palpable. Real quick, if you're new here, welcome to the TrevBeats Show. Make sure you subscribe if you want to stick around. And for the regulars, if you ever feel compelled to throw some extra support our way, check out the membership options next to the subscribe button. It's strictly for those who want to help us do more, but your viewership is support enough. Now back to the show. TrevBeats Show, TrevBeats Show. TrevBeats Show, TrevBeats Show. Welcome back to the TrevBeats Show. So today I'm honored to have this brother on the show. We've known each other forever. If you know drums, then you definitely know Eric Moore. Like, he set the internet and social media on fire with his chops for years. But he's also been on stages and locked in and been the backbeat for artists like Suicidal Tendencies, Eros Ramazzotti, and so many others. And also, I just realized this brother can sing and play bass. That's something that I just found out. It's like, yo, this is crazy. So without further ado, please welcome my bro, Eric Moore, to the TrevBeats Show. What's up, man?
What's up, everybody? What's up, Trev? How you doing, bro?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Good, man.
It's a blessing.
Good. Yeah, man. Come on, man. Thanks for sitting down with me, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad the time is right.
Yeah, yes. Man. So first thing I want to ask you, man, is, you heard me in the intro. It's like, bro, it's like the man of many talents, bro. I just got put on to you singing and playing bass. It's like, brother, what do you not do, man? Come on, dude.
Man, I'm so grateful for my gifts. I have many gifts. I don't hide them. I just don't publicly put them out there, from singing to playing the piano. Like, I used to play piano in church a lot. My dad is a pianist, a church pianist. And from playing piano and playing the bass. I used to play saxophone. So I play multiple instruments. I just love the drums. Like, the drums is my passion.
Mm-hmm.
And just everything about drums is really, really something that's just been in my heart forever. So a lot of times I just show that. And then, from singing on tour with Eros for the last few years, being on tour, and just wanting to put it out there, portray it to, I guess, my social media following, because now I feel like it's time for me to work on my own album and to start doing more outside of drumming.
Yeah, as you should, man. Come on. There ain't enough drummers doing that, man. I mean, we've had basically Stoke and AP in the last, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
Stokely and Anderson. It's like, it's not, we don't have enough drummers out there in front, man. So that's beautiful. And yeah, that Eros gig, I mean, that whole setup that you get in that show, man, it's unbelievable, bro. Like,
he showed me so much love from day one. He showed me so much love. He definitely was a great guy.
Yeah, man. So
still to this day.
I'm sure, yeah. So, I mean, and speaking of the foundation, obviously, you just said it again. It's like you did come up in gospel, which is the breeding grounds for so many talented people. So in those early days, like when you were still in that mindset before you had kind of ventured out into, I guess what they would call secular world, how did that environment, I know you have a father that's also a musician, as you just said, but how did that environment shape you? Because it's like, you have a high level of technical facility. It's not just instinct, gospel chop vibe. You have a high level of drum, facility. So where did you develop that part? I know playing pocket and being, soulful and all that comes from church, but you took it to a whole nother chop area. So when did that part of your life happen?
So that part of my life actually happened because with me and my dad, especially growing up in church, my dad allowed me to be a free range drummer, like a free musician. When a lot of people that grow up with parents that play instruments, their parents tell them, just play straight, like always keep it straight. But me and my dad, like most times we go to different churches or whatever, and we the two piece. So it's him on organ and then me on drums. So we want to
Ah,
sound like a full band. So he
right.
let me be more percussive in my playing. So a lot of times when I play, I'm hearing guitar parts, and that's what I'm playing like as a hi-hat pattern. It's like a
Mm,
guitar part that I heard on the album. Or locking in with the bass, playing the bass drum part, but still hearing percussive stuff. So that's when I'm adding in different times or, certain little things with drums. But
mm-hmm,
everything came from just growing up in church, having a dad that let me be free range and being musical and just being free to be myself.
mm-hmm,
He always let me be myself. A lot of times, I nowadays I'm starting to see that me having an Aquarius mindset is something that really goes hand in hand from being a business owner to just always wanting to do my own thing to when everybody's going right, I want to go left,
right.
like always. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how it is nowadays being an adult, but
Yeah.
everything all stemmed from just being able to have an expressive parent that allowed me to be myself on my instrument. And then he would just guide me in different ways as I got older with my timing and, just different stuff like that. But it was really, really dope growing up, especially in church.
Yeah, man. So, and I'm a fellow Aquarian too, by the way. So, yeah.
Amazing.
So,
Amazing.
yeah. So, it's interesting because I would you say that maybe that whole when the actual gospel chops thing happened, was that around your introduction basically to the world as like, hi, I'm Eric Moore? Like, was that the first time you could recognize that was your kind of, being
So,
pushed out to the world, or did something happen before that?
nah, Nah, so Gospel Chops, which is amazing. The owner, Gerald Forrest, he had hit me after I won Guitar Center Drum Off.
Got you.
So I had just won Guitar Center Drum Off in 2003, which is 23 years ago now.
Crazy.
I won Guitar Center Drum Off, yeah, and I had just won the finals, had my car, and I ran into him in. I'm from a small town called Stockton, California, and he was in Sacramento.
Got
So
you.
he reaches out to me through Facebook, I believe, or before that time it wasn't even Facebook yet. It
MySpace,
was he
maybe.
reached out like yeah, maybe MySpace. So
Yeah.
he had hit me up and was like, "Yo, I'm starting this brand, and I would love to feature you on my site." And I was like, "That sounds amazing. Let's work together."
Hmm.
And we did. I was able to do one of the first drum lessons on his site called Gospel Chops. So
Wow.
Gerald Forrest presents Gospel Chops, and then he would show me he put me out there like that. So I showed a chop, but from the beginning, I had just won Guitar Center Drum Off. I just won a car. Back then, I was with. I wasn't endorsed with, but I had just got affiliated with Yamaha, Sabian, ProMark, uh, all these companies that you get after you win this big competition. I won a
Right.
Saturn View car, and yeah, it was just amazing. So I guess it was a vibe between both of us being able to take my plateau of being a drummer, the Guitar Center drum off winning, and then put that together with Gospel Chops. And then with him having me along, I was able to get different friends and different people, just talking, them seeing me, and we was able to him grow his own business. I'm not saying that it's on me or whatever. I'm saying that us being able to do something together brought a lot of attention and a lot of people into that different thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
A
it was
lot of
really
people.
cool.
Yeah, we saw a lot of people come through that, and a lot of people are still hanging in there. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
Totally.
interesting. That's amazing to know the lineage of that, because I was trying to figure out which one came first, and so thanks for clarifying
Yeah.
that.
No
Now,
worries.
yeah. So, in order to do the gigs that you've done, a lot of people see you with the chops and are in amazement. But in order to do a lot of the gigs you've done, you still have to have the other side. And maybe, you know, on social media, because there's so much content of you with your chops, people don't understand that other side of Eric. So you clearly know how to serve the song. And, it's like, how do you balance the technical, because I know you always got ideas going on. So when you're in a situation, how do you balance that technical fire, with what you have to do for the artist or the recording? Because I know you're hearing stuff all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how do you balance that? Because you have that facility. You know what I mean? What's your mental state with that stuff?
So I have been able to grow my musical side just like life. When it comes to social media, I make social media about Eric Moore as the drummer who wants to play like the clinician.
Mm-hmm.
Or now it's Eric Moore, the clinician, the business owner with dope sticks and
Mm-hmm.
different things like that. It's all about wearing different hats.
Yeah.
And with social media, even from day one, like my YouTube channel, it was more push playing songs and being able to solo on the fly and just to build a song and play a song the way I felt it or the way I heard it. Meaning before records, it was I knew that records are amazing, but I just wanted to be able to take what people hear on the record, but be able to showcase it on a video. So I
Mm.
took everything instead of making an album, I would do that more on YouTube. That's why I
I
have like
see.
so many different videos on YouTube. And then once Instagram and stuff like that kicked in, it was like, okay, I could showcase myself playing more in video form and I could grow my following that way. So that's how I looked at it. And just
Mm-hmm.
wearing multiple hats all the time. It's from being back then I was married. It's about being a husband first and then being a son to my parents. Like everything comes hand in hand. You just can't be a rock star all the time. So when it came to playing music, I would serve the music as great as I can. Whatever the artist want at that time, whatever the artist want, that's what the artist get. And it's never a difficult thing. I'm like a chameleon. I'm able, just
Mm-hmm.
like yourself. You're one of the ones that I look up to in music as well. Being able to serve the music and play all different styles and make it feel the way it's supposed to be felt. That's
Right.
the goal. So
Right.
when it came to arrows, when it come to suicidal tendencies, is looking at it, listening to the music, being able to hear, okay, he told me I can have my free space, but I still got to make the music feel the way the music has felt for 30 years before I got here. Because if
Mm.
I do too much, the people ain't gonna, they're not gonna be able to comprehend it or be able to digest what I'm giving them. This is not church. So
Right.
I had to be able to be that type of musician in all aspects of what's happening. And a lot of people, you have fans and you have people. It's crazy because it's just like being in a relationship. Now I am at this point I'm divorced. So as me not messing with, but talking to different women and just getting different personalities, you learn that everybody's different and everybody listens to things and does things a different way, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what it is. So
Mm-hmm.
even with drums, some people only listen to Eric Moore, the choppers. They only want to hear those chops, and you see it in people's playing and how I'm maneuvering around drums and doing all of this crazy stuff. And a lot of people don't never pay attention that I literally tour the world playing pocket or
Right.
playing rock music or
Right.
doing, and it's crazy. It could be
Right.
like my career has been over the span of 25 years, but they only know Eric Moore from Missy Elliott, Get Your Freak On.
Right. Right. Right.
That's
Right.
it. They
Yeah.
don't even know, they don't know that I was in suicidal tendencies. They don't know that my first gig I ever had in 2004, 2005 was Sly and the Family Stone.
Right. And when you play with Bobby
Yeah,
too, like they don't know. Yeah. A
yeah.
lot of
Then
people
I
don't
go
know.
from that to Bobby Brown, El
Yeah.
DeBarge,
Yeah.
Chico DeBarge. Like I've had some of the most solid and foundation. Bell Biv DeVoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've literally played like that era of music, and I mean not just for like one show. Like I've toured with these artists for a very very long time and had a great career playing that music and just being taught by that lineage of musicians that
Yeah.
know about that sound. So it's really cool. It's really cool. It's just
Yeah.
crazy how like the days change and where we're at right now.
Well, and also, it also has changed where now there's this huge quest in every area to just throw people in categories. It's like back in the day, we celebrated people being Renaissance musicians and doing what we do. Like that was kind of normal. But now there's all these categories and it's like, oh, he's a this guy or he's a that guy. It's like, no, you could do multiple things at once. You know what I'm saying? And
Super. Exactly.
it's interesting, man, because that mental thing, it carries over into the artist side, it carries over into the production side. It's very interesting. And then when you go and do what we're going to talk about now, which is go out on the whole other side on business ventures, it's really like confusing for people. They don't know how to look at you. You know what I'm saying?
For
So
real. Seriously.
speaking of that, you know, you started a drumstick company, man, which is not only ambitious, but I know that there's a lot involved with logistics and a lot involved in that. Yes, sir. Dope sticks, man. So
Yeah.
first of all,
Yes,
how long
sir.
has it been now?
We are 6 years running now, ever
Wow.
since January, February 2020. So
Wow.
now I'm 6 years in. It's been
Yeah.
amazing.
That's awesome.
It's been
And who are
amazing.
some of the artists that you have there that we know? Because I know a few, but I want to hear you tell
I
who
have
some of the
I have
artists.
I have Quezzy Robinson,
Mm-hmm.
Quezzy Robinson, amazing. I have Miss Drummer,
Mm-hmm.
Monica Miss Drummer,
Mm-hmm.
as well as Tony. I can't even remember Tony's last name right now, so don't butcher me, Tony. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Jr. He actually has his own stick too, coming out soon. He plays for Blackpink,
Okay.
as well as Andy Prado.
Yeah, Andy.
Andy
Yeah.
from LA, man, amazing.
Killer. Yeah.
So yeah, some super killers. And I'm building the roster as it goes. Like a lot of stuff is coming up. And what's crazy is I've been able to be the foundation for a lot of drummers that in their mindset feel when they wanted, like whatever the endorsement was that they wanted, they had to use this as a stepping stone to get what they like. So it's
Mm.
okay. It's a
Mm-hmm.
great thing. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of drummers have been on to now endorsed bigger companies at the moment. So it's cool. But that's my roster for now. The roster's
Yeah.
about to grow though. It's about to be crazy.
And then you have I mean, that's amazing, bro. And you're still going and, you know, and I mean, listen, anyone that knows, you know, that does anything on their own or as an entrepreneur, it's not easy. It's one of the hardest things to do because you're taking the
No, it's
risk.
so difficult.
Yes, it's hard, man. And it's like, you know, to hear that it's still going, hey man, that's admirable, bro. And then you have your place is I can't remember the name. Is it the Drum Resort? I can't remember the name of
Yeah,
that.
so the
Yeah.
drum resort. So
Yeah.
the drum resort is something that I actually did during the pandemic in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
and it was, to be honest, being so so much wanting to have different businesses, and my mind is always racing at different things. The drum resort was actually just an amazing idea, but not at the right time in my life. I think not
Mm-hmm.
at the right time in my life after my father passed away, and running dope sticks and just trying to stay motivated and just creating new designs and doing different things. I didn't have the push to
Right.
want to give drum lessons
Right.
coming in from tour and stuff like that. Life has been crazy. Life has
Right.
been really really crazy when I think about it. So speaking about the drum resort, I recently sold my mansion in Las Vegas and I bought a brand new house. So I sold that big house and I got another house. So right now the drum resort is just on ice. It's on
Got you.
ice. The idea is on ice, but I can always come back and do a drum resort. But for right now, it's all about dope sticks, building the brand, and growing something totally different. Like my mind is just elsewhere.
And you
Definitely
have
not on giving drum lessons.
I feel that. And so that's my next question is I just saw you just open your new studio. So tell us about the
Yeah.
studio, man. It looks incredible.
Yeah, so at my crib in Vegas, I got like a really really dope 3-story house. It's pretty big. It's 6 bedrooms, five
Mm-hmm.
bathrooms. It's pretty big house, and it's just me. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
have kids. So at the lower level of the crib, it's so spacious, and I have multiple endorsements with a lot of great relationships with people that have been able to come in and they help me renovate my space. So
Yeah.
now I have a new workspace to be able to record more albums. It's amazing to be able to work with so many different people, especially over the years. So now with my new space, I can record more albums and just get more music out into the world. And that's pretty much the goal.
So yeah, man, relationships are one of the most important things. And I'm really, you know, a proponent for that. And it's like you always find out what's going on when things sometimes level out or things are not at a certain place. That's when you see who's really in your corner and who stays with you through these hills and valleys of a career, because there's always that, right? And it's like, you know, we went through a whole pandemic. There's a lot of people came out of the pandemic with with minus some relationships because they weren't really that
Most
strong. You know what I
definitely.
mean? So and we should talk about that too. So recently you just made a switch. So you're now a Gretsch drums artist. In any
Yes.
other switches, in any other company switches, or was that the main one of recent?
Man, I've switched from, man, a lot of switches. I switched from Gretsch, from DW to Gretsch. I
Mm-hmm.
now play Audix microphones.
Oh yeah.
I was with
Shout out to
Lewitt. I was
Chris.
with Lewitt. I was with Lewitt Audio for forever,
Yeah.
and then now
Shout
I'm
out
with
to
Audix
Roman.
microphones, which is yeah. Audix microphones. I was with 64 Audio, which I still that's my family. That's my family. But now I got a new deal venture with Fur Audio for in ears,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really cool. I'm like I'm I feel like I'm elevating. I feel like I'm
Right.
elevating as a musician, and my ear is changing, and just my drumming as a whole. I just feel like it's elevating to a whole different Eric Moore.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, I mean it's a new beginning, and you're evolving as a person in every way. That's always good to do, man. It's always good to do. I mean, listen,
Certainly.
I fought the idea of having a podcast for probably 5 years, and then I realized,
Wow.
I realized I have so many relationships and so many friends and so many people that I don't believe their story is told enough that it's important to do. And then as that was happening, the climate shifted to where podcasts became the thing. So sometimes,
Yeah.
you have to go out on a ledge and do things that may not be in your comfort zone at first. And then, it becomes something that's meaningful, man. So, I
Totally.
applaud you for everything you've been doing because I've been seeing it, man. And I mean, I know you, for quite a while, and it's like, bro, you keep on pushing and doing your thing, man, through adversity, through
Man,
life
I
stuff.
have to
Yeah, you keep
that
going.
part.
Yeah, man. And
That
that's
part, because life is not easy. Life is
yeah,
not easy. So many times you want to give up, and so many different things happen, and it's so much more than just drums.
yeah,
It's people
mm,
and family and friends and relationships. It's so much. It's so
yeah.
much that goes on.
So I
Yeah,
think
life is not easy.
no, that's real, bro. And I wanted to talk a little bit more on the gear side for all of our drummer people that are
For sure.
watching. So when you go to a new company, it's like, what your workflow is, how you moving around. What do you usually look for initially? Like, so you leave DW, you go to Gretsch. Like, what you say? Hey, I gotta have a recording kit. I gotta have this. I gotta have a kit with all the sizes. Like, how do you go about breaking down to make sure you're covered? You know what I'm saying?
So for me, and as I've switched, my main so a lot of people are like, why the switch? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Gretsch is now owned by Gava
Mm-hmm.
Corporation.
Mm-hmm.
Gava is one of the biggest music distributors in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So the relationship being with them is such on a different level of business wise, as well as just the relationship with me and Marcel. That's the owner, the owner's son, Marcel Mesner. The people are amazing as the owners of this company, and I've
Right.
been working with them because I was doing Gava electronics, so I've been able to build an electronic drum set just like yourself,
Mm-hmm.
helping DW.
Mm-hmm.
So I helped create this amazing product with the electronic drums and sounds and samples. They've been able to take me and tour everywhere with these
Mm-hmm.
electronic drums. So they've helped my career. They've helped me grow. They've helped me with business and ideas and planning and different stuff like that. So when they bought Gretsch drums, and they bought them 3, 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
It
Oh yeah.
was it was it was always a thought. It was just like how we gonna make it work. And I was like iffy. I was very iffy. But when the merger came, as DW got bought out by Roland,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why a lot of drummers are not there anymore, is the relationships change within that company, within what's happening. I don't know for you per se, but a lot of younger
Mm-hmm.
drummers and a lot of other people, the relationship kind of got different. It was
Mm-hmm.
like they start cutting off different things that you're used to getting, and it's like, yo, that's not the same as my deal was before you came about. But we're
Yeah.
gonna see what happens. So as things change, it was just such a better look, a better thing to be somewhere where they desired me since day one. They were like, yo, what's up? Like, we ready for you to come on over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me do some digging in the drums. Let me see, because my favorite drummer, Vinny Caluda, been playing y'all forever. He left and then came back. He want to
Right.
play y'all, and I see so many people, and the drums are phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
as I dig into Gretsch, and So you were saying like, how do you make that change? I've been with Gretsch now since January,
Yeah.
and I have 6 Gretsch drum sets already.
Mm-hmm.
So we're only in May,
Right.
and I got I got a USA custom. It's my new USA custom just came in last month, in April,
Yeah.
and it's really phenomenal. One of the first USA customs with short stacks. So I got like
Oh,
they helped me reinvent the drums and building me some stuff that I'm like, woo, this is crazy. Crazy
yeah.
snare drum collection. I'm like 15 snares in already. Like, woo, it's
Right.
it's
Right.
it's hype. It's,
Right.
it's, it's hype, and it's not just it's like I'm a kid in a candy store. I got a new flow to me. I feel so good, just like yourself. You have so many different drums. You're like, okay, what's new? What am I gonna do next? Like I have. I
Right.
have 80. I have 80 DW drum sets.
Right.
Like that's crazy. Like I don't even, yeah. And when I move, like I have so many drums to move, and people are always begging and like, give me a drum set. I'm like, I'm about to, yeah, this is stock that's
Yeah.
gonna go into dope sticks. So yeah,
Right.
like as
Right.
I as I sell that, I'm gonna have more drumsticks for the people
Right.
and more creative ideas and more flow. It's a difference.
Right.
It's a
Right.
difference. But Gretsch is phenomenal. The people are phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Nico, that's my artist rep. He takes great care of me. He makes
Mm-hmm.
sure, like, we're planning on doing Japan this year, big drum clinics and big festivals and so much stuff. From before, everything is booked through me. I have to, when I was with DW, like, I never got a plug on, yo, Eric, we got this for you because you play DW. Like, nah, it was Eric Moore is getting, it's so much work. It's a
Right.
lot of work. Now
Right.
it's cool to have a team and people that represent me and that desire to help me succeed and help me be seen. And it's so dope. They believe in my drumstick company, and it's amazing. Ava
Nice.
is amazing.
Nice, man.
Very,
Well,
very grateful for them.
that's beautiful, bro. Yeah, I remember when that whole merger happened and they did their thing. And, I heard about it, even before it was that, kind of public and public knowledge. But
Totally.
yeah, that's big, bro, because they're definitely a huge factor in Europe, and elsewhere around the world, man. So, and it's
Yes.
also speaking to where things are. I mean, it's the equivalent of what we've seen now in the music business, where once upon a time there was all these labels, and then over years now you got basically 3: Sony, Warner, and Universal, that own everything. You know what I'm saying? And it's
For
like,
real.
same with the drum world. Now you got these corporate things, and it's like it's not the same as it was. So people have to ebb and flow and move with it and do the best business that for us as people. You know what I'm saying? Not for
Yes.
what it looks
Totally.
like out the outside. I mean, at a certain level, getting drums that's just part of the thing. It's not even about that level. We're talking about past that. You know what I'm saying? Because
Totally.
you know,
Exactly.
yeah, because a long time ago I was on a Zoom, and I'm not gonna mention the drummer, but this drummer was like, I mean, listen, we're talking about drums. Those are tax write-offs. What else are y'all doing? I was like, yo, that was so gangster to say that. But, when we talk about drums, and I talk to people all the time, and even in my books, it's like nothing is free. These are all line items. These are all things that are line items, expense. They're coming from a budget. So it does have an offset thing, and it is a certain amount of stuff for promotion that can maybe be written off. So when they're giving a drum set to somebody, if they're selling 500 and they gave you one, they're making a lot of profit. So, so at the
And
end of
a lot of
yeah,
these young cats don't even get that. They don't even
yeah,
get it.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, nothing is free. Saying that a drum set is free is saying that our name and likeness is worthless, right? So, I applaud the moves that you're making because they're working for you and your brand and what you're trying to build. And I think that, there's enough space creatively for everybody to do their thing. And these companies,
Most certainly.
they're all going to have, different people. And guess what? There's enough room for all of it. So it's awesome,
Totally.
bro. It's awesome. I appreciate that, sharing that story. Now, a little bit more on the technical, bro, on the practice side. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the evolution of practice. So of course, your independence and your speed is bananas, right? So today versus 10 years ago, what are you doing different? Are you still spending a lot of time practicing? Are you going crazy with, rudimental stuff and all that? Or do you have like a different focus on conceptually now? Like, what's your practice difference, versus like 10 years ago?
So back then, my practice that's different is I just had more time.
Mm-hmm.
I had more time to practice and to turn into what I'm at now. The crazy thing is, as I get older, my mind stretches. And I talk to so many different drummers that are at my age, from Spanky to Thomas to Tony Royster to Ronald. We all, as you get older, your mind stretches to where your body now has caught up to what your mind thinks. Before, my mind moved faster than my body to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
now when I play drums, everything that I practice over all of these years is finally catching up. So I actually feel as if my creative side, especially during drum clinic or when I'm being Eric Moore, the Flash, when I'm being that, I'm it's times 10 now at my age. It's easier.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to play double bass or play it fast or come through. So now when I practice, I'm pretty much able to watch these all these amazing kids on Instagram and know exactly what they did within 3 seconds. It's like when you was younger, you would watch Dennis and you'd be like, I have to try that. I want to play
Right.
like Dennis, or I want to play that Vinny Calutalik or that Dave Weckl thing that he did right there as he flammed off the splash. These
Right.
little things, but now it's so quick with social media and all of these kids because they taking it like popcorn. They just pop it in
Yeah.
the microwave and it's right there with them. So
Yeah.
now I'm just noticing all of these years of practicing and watching them and like, okay, I remember when I did that. I even got a video from me doing that on Facebook at this year. Okay, I got that. Okay, that under sweet thing that everybody's doing now. Like I literally did that. I did that on Drumeo in 2016, but now it's
Right.
hot. So it's
Right.
like watching different things, and now it's like, okay, now I can still take that same lick, but I can play it to the right, or I can play it with my left hand way better than I could have back then. So now my mind is just more open.
I
It's
see.
like it's like when you watch that one movie with that lady and she takes that blue stuff and then her mind just expands. It has Morgan Freeman in it and her mind is expanding and she's just getting more and more knowledge. And
Right.
that's like me as a drummer or a musician. As I get older, I'm getting more and more knowledge into business, into drumming, into everything. So it's just combustion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when it's all said and done, I just hope that God is like He's pleased with me, and I've done what I'm supposed to do as much as I was supposed to do it.
Yeah, man. One thing that a lot of people are talking about right now, and I always talk about it, is what's happening with AI. And we talk about it, what is happening with it in the song, way, and what's happening with it when it relates to artists. We don't talk about it a lot when it relates to drummers. And if we think that it's not going to have any effect, then we're being naive once again. And it's like, we always talk about the intersection of music and AI, but it never comes out with drums. So program drums and, AI tools that are now starting to be linked in with these DAWs, and Splice and all these other things, it just seems like the role of drummers in a certain way is going to be affected in the next 5 to 10 years. So, you being someone that travels all over the world and, you're up on technology, what do you see happening with the role of drummers amidst this AI era that we're in?
I just see it as AI to me is a tool, just like back in the day, everybody thought that when drum machines came around, drum machines was going to take over drumming.
Right.
And as we can see, drummers are at a force, and drummers can do more than AI. Now, when it comes to recording and a person being able to type in I would like Trev Lawrence. I would
Mm-hmm.
like Trev Lawrence sound as Trevor Lawrence would play Latin
Mm-hmm.
percussion on
Mm-hmm.
this record. Can you give me Trevor Lawrence beats on my record? The see what's crazy because you have so much music recorded and AI can go in and dig up every single
Right.
thing that you've ever recorded and be you.
Right.
Now that's where they can dissect it and it's getting better and better. So
Yeah.
when it comes to recording, AI can take your recording and definitely
Yeah.
give them a sound and an approach that is damn near close to you. And
Yep.
as years get better, it'll be you. It'll
Right.
definitely be you. The same way I could literally make a fake Eric Moore, and he could be sitting here talking to you right now, and he could answer questions just like me because I have so much on the internet.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Now, when it comes to being an artist and being able to push yourself as your art and being a musician, I feel can do records, but they can never do video. They
Mm.
can't never be Eric. It can't never be Eric Moore social media video, like play drums like me, maneuver like me, go do a drum clinic like me, play for the artist in real time
Mm-hmm.
like me. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where us as drummers, I believe we are safe. We are safe as long as we're doing our part and staying up the part. Like nobody will never be Vinny Cayuta. Nobody will ever be
Right.
yourself. Nobody will
Right.
ever be Dennis.
Right.
So that form of art is good. We us as that form of artists and us being humans,
Right.
we are good. Now, if we wanted to talk about it politically, AI is there, but when the government takes out this middle class and we only have a higher class and we have a low class, the middle ground of us being musicians and everybody wanting to work and come and see somebody, oh, that's when it's going to get very, very scarce.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So
Yeah.
that's stuff that a lot of people don't want to think about. Like now, like we all want to go to concerts and we all want to go see that Usher and Chris Brown, but that concert ticket that's between $500 to $1,000, everybody can't afford.
Right.
Like the economy is crazy with gas so high. Like we praying that it go down, but
Yeah.
AI is only good as much as it can do. So it's like a figment of imagination. So it's
Yeah.
how much you want to live inside this figment of reality of what it is. When you wake up and you know what's really really good, AI can't take over what me and you really do. It could
Right.
just record us. It could just be us as a figment of that imagination.
Right. I feel that. Yeah. And it can
But
only,
now
yeah.
the goal is now though, the goal is now is to copyright yourself to when AI copies you and you know that that's your sound and they typed you in there, give me a gospel chop style drumming or whatever that is Eric Moore, then you know that that sound exactly like me on a
Yeah.
record, but that's not me. But
Right.
the fact that they used me to copyright my sound, that's infringement. So now I'm
Right.
going to sue you.
Right.
And,
That's what
or you
Taylor
just owe
Swift
me
just
money
did.
as if I did it.
Yeah, Taylor Swift just did that. Yeah, she just trademarked her
Exactly.
voice. Yeah, so that's probably, there's gonna probably be, and I'm sure right now emerging is a whole business model of that. And if it isn't, attorneys, you should start thinking about that because being able to help protect musicians that have a lot of stuff in the ether, name and likeness, that's gonna probably be an emerging, model because we know they scrub it, and if you have a lot of stuff out there, it's like, listen, it could be infringing on what you do creatively. So yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree. It's definitely everything is changing. If we don't see the connection between what's happening in politics, they've been successful in convincing musicians and people with influence to not talk about politics and use their influence. And so now we see where we are. It worked. And now one side completely is dominating the other side. And the other side is mostly full of creatives and huge creatives that have huge influence that they're not using. And so the plan
Yeah.
worked. The plan worked. And so now we're seeing the rolling back of voting rights. And, listen, that's a lot of us that are also creatives and musicians, right? So it's an interesting thing, but you have to make those correlations because now all these things are intersecting: politics, AI, music, us as musicians, lifestyle. The thing you said about concerts, man, is completely like in this day and age with gas being how it is, the nosebleed seats, no one can even fill them up anymore. It's like, forget the
Not at
floor
all.
seats, it's the nosebleed seats that fill up the majority of the place. And that is just, it's slipping far and far and farther away. So I know in China, they're doing a lot of virtual, concerts already. I don't know how well that will work in America, but, it's a to be continued type of argument, man. We got to stay on this, but I appreciate you giving your feedback on that. Now, live versus studio, it's like your energy live is bananas. Like forget, like the chops is one thing, but the energy and the stage presence is another. So when you are going to go track something with somebody, how do you channel and capture that energy into that 3.5 minutes, for a song?
So because I gospel chops. Like I'm literally one of the first drummers YouTube. Like I'm literally one of the first drummers that was posting into after drum off. Like that's why my career I think has been the way it is. Once the camera's on, I'm programmed to go hard no matter what. So now these drummers are trying in 2026 to capture their self playing drums, and they're like, okay, we're here after 50, 60 takes of a song.
Right.
I've been that guy. Like
Right.
people will miniaturize me, but when I say I've been since '05, '04, cutting on a camera like this and
Right.
playing a song with the camera in front of me and being in real time, that's the difference. It's just like
Right.
shit, just like the shit with
Right.
whatever. When the camera was on, I'm not dropping the drumstick. I'm not gonna fumble. That's what I do. It's showtime. And it's been that way ever since I was a little kid. I wake up from a nap in church, and my dad be like, "Hey, time to get up. We got to play. The choir about to be on in 5 minutes. Okay, let's go." Like it's showtime. So when the camera cut on, my energy is always gonna be a 10. And life is so short. Every single time I touch the drums or I touch a pair of drumsticks, it's life. I love this instrument. It's like a breath of fresh air. And that's
Yeah.
how I be seeing these 80-year-old drummers, or I would see Buddy Rich back in the day, and I'd be like, man, he's so youthful when he touches the drums. I go to a show, I watch Billy Cobham, and I
That's
see Billy
crazy.
Cobham just turn into a kid. It's like, whoo, he back. Dennis be like, like, oh, I gotta get on this stage. And you get on stage, and then once he got the drum sticks in,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
crazy. Yeah. And
yeah, you
Billy.
turn into him.
Yeah, and let's not forget Billy Cobham is in his 80s. Billy Cobham is older than Steve Gadd. So, put that in
Man,
perspective. You know what I'm saying? So,
super.
yeah, you know what I mean? And one thing that you just said that makes a lot of sense is you still have that passion and that feeling, man. And that's something that as you get older sometimes can go away because of all these other distractions. But the great ones always keep that passion. And just like you mentioned, all those people, it's still when you get around drums or sit behind drums, something just activates, you know what I'm saying, in us that just, I don't know, man, it's just something that's intangible, but it is very palpable. And it's just the love for the instrument. Now, I got to say, now we're going to take a brief second because you are right. You are right in saying that you are on the early side of what now is considered normal, right? With the video stuff. So let's not look over that. Like you were one of the early people that set the framework for what now we see every day on Instagram and all that kind of stuff. Let's not sweep that under the rug, man. We got to give you your flowers for that because you were
Thank you,
ahead
bro.
of where it was going, and you were documenting, which provided a lot of blueprints for people, and you were also influencing this next generation, which now it seems normalized, but when you were doing
It's
it, it
crazy.
wasn't normalized. You know what I'm saying?
It's
So
crazy.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it is
So
crazy. It's wild. I can't even front. It is wild. When I and man, it is wild. It is wild, yo. I'd be like, sometimes I think that I don't know if I did it the best way possible because at the time I just saw it as like I want to get out there, like I want to be able to just to have my face out there and to pump what I'm doing. But now it's I was thinking of it like this. There's Steve Jordans. There's those drummers that are pocket, that are futuristic in how they play music, right? But now it's like it's too many Eric Moores. And I hate to say it like that, but drummers gonna be like, oh, I'm influenced by all these other cats. You are influenced by them, but you no, because they don't have no clips online. Like,
right,
oh yeah, that's who you like. That's who you like. But every time I hear you play and you do a sweep and you hear the hi-hat go like after the floor time, you hear hit to hit, that's me. That's
right,
that's my DNA.
right.
That's my DNA. Like so every time you play a lick, if I hear a certain sweep in it, that's my DNA that no other drummers were playing from Ronald to Thomas to Tony. No, we all have our DNAs of how we play stuff, how drummers play stuff. But my DNA is so heard. I'll be like, that's it. Like I can hear it in Caucasian, I can hear it in African American, I can hear it in Mexican, I can hear it in church, I can hear it everywhere, and it's wild.
Well, that's hey man, you did something at a time where everything is saved, right? So it's like it wasn't,
Totally.
it wasn't in VHS days where the technology went out and they're kind of gone in the archive. You did something that's still you can go back to right now. So that's just something at the time you did it. Yeah, at the time you did it, man, you didn't realize you were providing a lot of a blueprint. Now, speaking to that, one thing I will say is that, with those other drummers you just mentioned and the prevailing mindset of drummers from my generation and before was people were trying to be individual. You know what I'm saying? And now it is a trip because you can go on and I can hear 50 people and it's like you are playing the exact same thing. It's not a derivative. It is like insert drummer and it's going to be, you can almost, now he's going to do this. Okay, they're getting ready to cross over. Now they're going to do something and, get all excited and stop real fast and do a cymbal, grab. And it's just, it's interesting because, you know what I'm saying? It's coming from a different way of learning, just watching, old clips and watching the internet and mimicking. So your advice for the next generation, because you were such a blueprint for this, if you could go back to young Eric Moore that was just starting out, right? And now knowing everything that you know about the business and touring and social media, what would you tell the younger you now so it doesn't become, what we're talking about with all these other people?
To be honest, I love where we're at right now. I love seeing the younger drummers and being able to grasp it and where we're at. I can't wait to see the push of where it's going to go. I like where we're at. It's just that the drum setups, we all like before time, in my time, I didn't want to set up like Aaron Spears. Even though if I play a stack cymbal over my ride cymbal, like now I play my stack under my ride cymbal to where it's a little bit different or whatever the case may be. Now everybody's setting up 8, 10, snare drum, 12, 16. It's like, hey bro, everybody, no matter how amazing Sticks Taylor is GOAT, CJ Thompson is GOAT, no matter how GOAT these drummers are, you have to at least try to be your own self, bro. Be yourself a little bit. Find yourself in what you're doing. Those songs, there's so much music in the world. You could literally put on a rock song on your phone, on Apple Music, and it's going to give you 1,000 songs back to back that's different. Why are we all playing the same song every day on Instagram? Come on. We just it's okay. It's okay. You're gonna start that song out the same way that drummer did for the last 5 years, bro. Like
cymbal swell.
Splash
swell.
Wow. Like, bro, all y'all play this, everybody play this. That's what I would be like, don't be new, be creative to it. Even if you hear it, it's so much music.
Yeah.
It's so much music. The world is so much bigger. And that's why I look up to drummers like yourself. I look up to you. You being more percussive, knowing all of these different rhythms. Like it's okay to play all the gospel style drumming chops that you think, or being jazz fusionist, being very, very churchy in your playing. All of that's nice. But where does this other derivative come from? Being able to swing like Teddy Riley, not play it wrong, like really be able to play a New Jack Swing the way a New Jack Swing go, like that hump that it has, or be able to play really gritty when you play Mary J. Blige, or you're listening to this, like the way Rex Hardy played that, like the way you sit in it is a totally different a different grit, Gerald Hayward grit of how he played that field. That is totally different. Even if you say like a ending like Chris Johnson, like you got to know where it came from. Like when Chris Johnson used to play for Destiny Child, and he in a song like that came from that era. but
Right.
you don't know where it came from. Like now you're playing it because you think you know and you really
Right.
don't.
And you
So it's
saw
all
it.
about
Yeah.
doing the homework. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the homework.
Hey man,
It's the
that's
homework
that's
and where
that's
it comes
big.
from.
And you know what? And coming from you, this is part of what makes this channel special, because it's the authority and the contribution of my guests. And it's like hearing that from you is definitely different than hearing it from me, because I make no, qualms about it. I didn't come up playing in church, so I don't really play that style. I came up swinging. So being a
See?
person that really helped merge that fusion and church thing, and of course the big homies that you mentioned, they're all gonna pull up, you know what I'm saying? So Rex and Gerald and Chris, you
Yeah,
already know you're gonna get a call.
yeah.
So,
Let's
but
go.
it's like, it is interesting to see where things are going. And now, I don't know if you noticed this too, I'm sure you do, traveling around the world, there's like a delay. So now, like, I'm seeing a lot of people from other countries play stuff that we was playing in America 10, 15 years ago, and now it's hip. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
cats are playing
Yeah.
stuff, and it's like, bro, I got records from 97 playing a low tune snare drum. Like, it's interesting to see how these cycles happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Yeah. Totally.
you know what I mean? And it's fine. It's part of the evolution, but I just think it's important for us to also recognize people like yourself that were on the forefront of this. No matter how much other people get credit or get pushed out there, you were one of the early adopters to the mindset of, hey, this thing's about to go digital and social media is getting ready to be the place to showcase your drums. So I wanted to, give you a props with that, man. And,
Thank
listen,
you,
E,
bro. Thank you.
yeah, it's like, I know we could talk forever, bro. Anything you
Totally.
want to shout out, like, that's coming up, or any products or shows or master classes, anything?
I just want to say that me being I am an African American. I am black, and I know that our worlds are so divided as black human beings. We are taught to fight against each other from little kids, to go against each other and to just down our brother and to not work with our brother. So us coming together to do this interview and to be able to be drummers, musicians, and just be able to be friends is so much bigger to me.
Mm-hmm.
I own me owning my drumstick company. I can go on Facebook and I see the drumming community and they'll say like, "What's your favorite drumstick?" And that's super dope. That everybody likes Vic Firth, they like Vader, they play all of that. It's wild to me to see the negatives or the people that won't support not just me
Mm-hmm.
as a black musician. It's just always something negative, and
Mm-hmm.
we're always fighting against each other to either be bigger. But if we as a people would ever come together, besides owning a company, just if we ever came together as one,
Yeah.
even a drumming community, oh my God, the damage that we would do.
Exactly.
It would be so crazy. It would be
Yeah.
so crazy. Let's say I own. I can't. I don't even want to ruffle feathers. I own a drumstick company. But if we had 1,000 drummers that gave $100 and
Right.
invested into that in a corporation, that's $100,000 in order to invest. With 1,000 drummers, if we had 100 drummers invest $1,000, that's $100,000 that goes into a pot that
Mm-hmm.
could be able to grow one brand
Mm-hmm.
so big. Not just grow the brand, but if we had 100 of Larnell Lewis's, yourself,
Right.
Ronald's, Thomas's, all these drummers that are influential, just think, just like gospel chops, how everybody plays gospel chop style drumming right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean it, they're playing all of these licks, but we have no say so on what it is. We never
Mm-hmm.
will, like, we have to come together one day to have a say so in what's happening and stop fighting against our people. Our
Yeah.
people fighting against each other. I just would love it. I would love to see it. And it sucks because I don't think I'll ever see it in this generation, being realistic. I'll never see it. I'll die before we're able to really we'll never come together. Martin Luther King and all these other people, like, yes, we made worlds of changes, but just like you see the world of changes, it's going backwards
Oh yeah.
already.
Already.
It's already, and we're in 2020. We thought that it would get better. AI and we have all of these things. No, we're literally, because we don't know how to come together. They know how to keep us down,
Yeah.
suppressed,
And
and
people
that's
are
what they're gonna do.
and people are still you know, I started another Instagram channel just because I was like, man, we're just not as a community really getting the information, you know, and you'd be amazed at the grown people in our society, professionals that are learning about stuff just from me giving these reports because they're not getting it and it's being purposely suppressed. And I think what you're saying right now is one of the biggest issues. It's like, you know, I dealt with it with my people over at Destination Smokehouse, that whole tenderism thing. I was a part of that in a certain way. I have some people involved with that and all that. And just to see the way that whole thing went down with people not knowing the story at all. They think they know, they have no idea what was really at play and what was going on. But the reaction and the trolling and the clickbait stuff, I posted the other day, where's that same energy with voting rights? Because all y'all southern states have lost it now. So where was that same energy when it came to putting the right people in to preserve your right to even vote? You spend all this time and energy about something you're not connected to, but what about what you are connected to? So that problem, and then to throw on top of it what we talked about earlier, where our most influential figures have been conditioned and a lot of times mandated to not use their influence to uplift black people. It is a mandate. We'll give you all this money, but you can't go talk positive, you can't go teach empowerment, and you can't, it's amazing, but it exists and people don't understand that. Where are all of our people that we give all these billions of dollars to support with shows and merch and all this? Where are they when the political time comes? They're never anywhere to be found. And that is not by accident, right? So, you know, I think it's important, man, that we say these things. You know, it's important to have these discussions. It's not negative. You're still going to be the great drummer and businessman you are. I'm going to still do what I do. It's not going to change. Doesn't change us, doesn't make us weak to be knowledgeable and have a mindset of what's going on in society. So I applaud you for bringing that up, because leading into the midterms, man, I mean, we're about to see all types of shenanigans, bro. And it's like a lot of it we can't even do anything about because it's already done. We've already overturned the entire civil rights movement, is already overturned 6-3 by the Supreme Court. So all this, oh, well, one day, dude, it's here. But yet we still, right now, as a community, are not focused on that. So appreciate you for mentioning that, my bro. Well, I tell you what, man, I feel like we're gonna have to do another interview at a certain time too, man, and just keep marking these times. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of people don't even know how long we've known each other. I mean, bro, it's like I've been watching you do your thing all these years, man, and you're very resilient and you keep on pushing and you know, even starting that company, man, it's like you didn't have to do that. It's easy to just go be with a company and be cool, but that, you know, foundation.
We're going to dig into that next. We're going to dig into that next.
Yeah, man. It's like, you know, I'm sure you got a lot of, I mean, we could talk about it a little bit, man. I'm sure you got a lot of pushback at first, but you maintained and you know, figured out how to keep it pushing, man. You don't have an overly populated roster, so you're not stressing yourself too much, and you take care of the people that you have, you know, and that's very important, man. And okay, if someone wants to be with Dope Sticks or feels they have a resume that's worthy or they're working or whatever, is there a method for them to reach out, you know, to be vetted, to, you know?
There are definitely methods for the drummers to reach out. What's crazy is I try to help everybody. So my drumstick company, like me having, for one, when I create dope sticks, I do A grade selected hickory wood. I make every stick to last long. I don't put out no bad products, especially when it's branded like this. So this pair of sticks at a music store is going to cost you $16.99, $15.99. And after tax, this is $20 at the music store. When I go to the music store to go buy a pair of sticks, this is $20. For the most part, if it's a music store, even if it's on my site, the pair of drumsticks right here is between $10 and $12. I'm already going to give the best price. Once a month or even more than that, Even in the summertime, I'll do a brick of 12 for $100. That's less. That's $8 a pair. That's cheaper than anybody. Like so people can stack up. Right now, I just came out with what's called shed sticks. Shed sticks right here. These are $5 a pair.
Wow.
Like I'm
Smart concept
offering
too. Yeah.
amazing, bro. I'm offering people an amazing product to be able to. It ain't even about the endorsement. That's why. Listen, everybody thinks that it's about having your name on a drumstick. At the end of the day, I just always wanted my name on a drumstick. I used to as well.
Right.
I did, and I own my own company, and I still don't have Eric Moore on a drumstick because it's bigger than that. We I call it dope sticks because we are drummers of planet Earth. We are community. I'd rather be a community. When I look online and I see somebody playing a pink or UV yellow or whatever that stick is, I know that that's a part of my family. And I offer a subscription like for churches and for businesses, for people that tour to get like 12 pairs of drumsticks every month, like on a certain day with a certain thing. I'm about to do 12 pairs of regular dope sticks and 12 pairs of shed sticks. So that's 24 pair a month for like $169,
Wow.
$170, free shipping. Like I'm offering better than you're getting. Like everybody thinks that when you're endorsed, you're getting free drumsticks. No, unless you're big wig, that's when you get something free. Ain't nobody getting nothing free.
Right. Right.
None of those drummers that you see, everybody's paying. They're
Right.
paying. They're paying for their Vic first. They're paying. They're paying $8, $9, maybe $6. They're paying. They're paying $5.44 for a pair of Pro Marks. Like they're paying. I'm literally giving you my. I'm just. It's not even about Eric Moore being rich. Eric
Right.
Moore wants to bless the community. And I want people to get it because this world and this economy and everything is tough. Us being a drummer, we pay more money for drumsticks, more money for drum heads, more money for cymbals, cymbal felts. We always buying something. When
Right.
everybody else just get to walk in with their little keyboard and they amp or their little bass guitar, like they ain't got to do nothing.
Right. Right. Real
Bro,
talk.
playing a pair of drumsticks every weekend, every week you're going through 2 or 3 pairs of sticks. If you go into the music store, I don't care if you're paying them $15 a pair. Are you getting them for 12 to 13, between 12 and $15? You're gonna break $30 in your check. Let's say you made 150. Like you going, man, I play real music. I go out and I gig. I love gigging. I will
Right.
I will do the $200 gig. Like
Right.
it's okay. So that's how I know what it's like being a real musician. Rather than
Right.
even if you hear or you hear.
Yeah.
Bring it together.
That's big, bro. And
Bring it
it's
together.
amazing to hear you say those costs of drumsticks. I mean, I'm completely removed, obviously, and thankfully, but bro, I can't
yeah.
believe that that's what drumsticks cost now. I mean, it's unbelievable to just hear you say that a deal is $100 something for 12 pair of drumsticks. I mean, it's like more than doubled in my lifetime. It's tripled in my
Yes, sir.
lifetime.
Yes,
And it's
sir.
like,
Yes, sir.
and we still have to have that, which is a thing that gets replaced a lot. So you got to always factor that in. And like you said, the heads, I don't even want to talk about what heads cost, cymbal. It's just, man, it is an expensive instrument to play. And, to understand the upkeep and all that, it starts making the wages not be them as much as they really are. You know what I'm saying? And
That's the we
yeah,
as musicians, we ain't never getting a raise. They
yeah,
ain't raised the musicians' rate in forever. They
yeah.
are great at
You,
raising all other
yeah,
wages, even in the church or anywhere. They
yeah,
are great, but they will offer us the 50, the 75, the
yeah.
$100 gig and tell us we need to rehearse 2 times. Do you know how much money I spent in gas to get here?
Come, especially now. I mean, remember Elmo's interview with Weckel, and he was saying what he made with Simon and Garfunkel in like '84, and that's more than what people are making now in a lot of shed tours. It looks like one thing, but the reality is something
Yo,
completely different. You know what I'm saying?
that part, man. If we talked about, if we ain't even get into what it's like the reason why I don't desire, I'm why we don't why I'm happy. I don't know about you, but right now I'm so happy to be in my home and to be
Mm-hmm.
relaxing and not have to be on a world tour and sleeping on a tour bus or being on an airplane every day at
Yeah.
this day and age in my life. I'm grateful that I can pay my bills and live and be the person that I want to be and play drums the way I want to play them without sacrificing everything it takes to be on tour. I felt
Yeah.
like Michael Jackson when he was like, I hate it. Yes.
Well, but DJ Quick had an album called Balance and Options, and I love that title, and that's just what it ends up being, man. I mean, it's like you can look at success in different ways. Some people's success is being on that tour, right? Or making it to that tour. But then after a while, sometimes the success turns into being with your family, you know, and being able to spend time with your family and wake up and do what you want to do. You know, we've all lived the different ways, and success evolves as well, what you perceive as success. But yeah, man, you know, listen, E, I just want to say again, bro, I really appreciate the real conversation, man, because, you know,
Thank you. Thank you for
yeah,
having
man.
me. Thank you for
So,
letting me be me. A lot of people don't get to hear me be myself. They
yeah,
I don't know what they be thinking. You just getting all kind of whatever, but
you
thank
speak
you.
with the drums, bro. I mean, you know, you speak on the drums more than we hear you speak as a person. And, you know, knowing you as a person, I and all my guests, I mean, this is what this show is for. It's like you really hear from the people that have contributed their story and what they believe. And then you can go back and put these breadcrumbs together, man. Even through my interviews now, you know, I'm somewhere over 30 now. And it's like, man, you could
Congratulations on that. That's dope.
thank you, man. You could start seeing these different connections and be like, oh man, you know, they were influenced by this person and they know that person. So these are gonna be breadcrumbs and trails, man, for the next generation. They're gonna be coming back to this conversation like, yo, Eric
Yeah.
Moore said he was one of the early guys. Let me go back and trace the, you know, these things are invaluable, man. So I appreciate you lending us, you know, your time and your story, and just a huge thank you to pulling up, bro. So ladies and gentlemen, my brother, Mr. Eric Moore, the dynamic, multi-talented Mr. Eric Moore. Thank you for coming to the TrevBeats Show, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for having me.
I have 19 active endorsement deals right now. PW Drums, Universal Audio, Remo, Roland, LP, Warm Audio, and many others. But nobody gave me those. I built every single one over 30 years, relationship by relationship. And I've played on a lot of records. Dr. Dre, Eminem, Alicia Keys, Lionel Richie, Alessia Cara, so many others. People always ask me, how do you get endorsed? Well, I finally wrote it down. Every strategy and every mistake I made. Every rule that actually worked. 20 chapters, $27, and you can read it in one sitting. It's called the Endorsement Playbook. Get it right now. Okay, everybody, that's a wrap for another show. If you're a musician, a producer, or an industry professional trying to move to the next level, this show is built for you. Subscribe so you never miss an update, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about it. I'm Trevor Lawrence Jr., and we are out.
It's the TrevBeats Show, and we out. We out. We out. We out. We out. We out. It's the TrevBeats Show, and we out. It's the TrevBeats